Disconnect in order that we can connect with one another and to celebrating Shabbat together. And we have our professional photographer in the back. We're also live streaming the service as you know, we know that some of JD's family is not able to join us here physically, so we wish them Shabbat Shalom as well, and are happy that they are able to join us via streaming on the Shabbat. Just so everyone is aware, the sound is not coming through here, the sound is coming through the computer there in the back, so it's good to have you all sitting nice and close, otherwise we'll hear all the conversations back there. But it's great to have you all here. So everyone take a nice deep breath, let go of everything else from the rest of the week, let it all go. Be in this wonderful place as I go. And today, let us celebrate Shabbat and celebrate as an amazing young man becomes a bar mitzvah. JD, we are so happy and proud and excited to be here with you and to celebrate with your moms, with Lynn and Pam and your entire family. So let us warm ourselves up with a nigun, cantor.
And so this opening melody has no words. We just sing on Yevamai as we allow ourselves to focus on the way the music makes us feel as we warm up our mind, body, spirit, and voice. Please join in as we sing with a smile.
So our Shabbat service this morning is participatory. JD is going to be leading us in our Shabbat morning service, and we are going to be joining along with him. This isn't a performance. This isn't a show that he has been practicing for. He has been practicing and studying for years, I would say, for this day to stand before us, before his congregation and his family and friends, and lead us in Shabbat morning services. So therefore, we're all going to join together and participate with him. So first of all, we're going to use our prayer books that hopefully everyone picked up as you came in. Excellent. And you might notice something interesting, especially JD's friends. Did you guys get prayer books back there? Okay, we will get you some. Excellent. So that way you can follow along with it. That's okay. No worries. It is all good. I want everybody to feel comfortable and at home. So we're going to get you some prayer books to follow along with. Because what's really interesting with our prayer books, first of all, is that they open the opposite way that we're used to with English books. Because Hebrew is read not from left to right, but rather from right to left. So if you look in the prayer books that you have here, to any page that has Hebrew, you'll see on the right-hand column the Hebrew letters there, the Hebrew words. written in Hebrew characters, but then in the left-hand column is the English transliteration. And that English transliteration allows everybody to follow along. The transliteration allows us to pronounce the words for everybody who maybe is not able to read the Hebrew words themselves. So that way we can all participate. And of course, JD's prayer book, however, so I'll hold this up real quick. JD's prayer book doesn't have any transliteration in it. He only has the columns that have the Hebrew letters in it, because he's been studying this for a long time and knows how to read Hebrew very proficiently, I should say. So, we're going to participate in him saying to us, here's what page I'm on, which I want to just give you a quick note with these books, is that I'll call out a page number like page 112 is actually at the beginning. So you'll notice that the page numbers sometimes will skip. We'll pretty much go straight through, but you will notice that sometimes it will jump from one page to all of a sudden 10 pages later, right on the next page. But all the numbers that we're going to be using are right there in the bottom of the page. So we have our prayer books. When there's italics, feel free, read along with JD or with us. Feel free to sing as well. And if you don't know the words, Liline works very well. We have a great philosophy, which is that if you can talk, you can sing. So don't be shy, sing along even if you don't know the words. It really creates this wonderful spirit within here that we're all joining together and participating. And also, we pray with our bodies. There will be times when we'll invite everyone to please stand. It's a show of respect. And you'll notice as well that there will be times that in our service and some of our prayers where you'll see some of us bowing, and it's bowing in humble reverence before God. And so you'll see some of this choreography that happens throughout the service. But there's this beautiful rhythm that's within our bodies, this natural rhythm. It's called the heart. The heart beats. And when you try to stand, if you try to stand perfectly still, it's almost impossible. Rather, to allow that rhythm within your body to move with you. So, and I know that JD, you yourself are a big dancer. So that's good. So even the prayers we allow to dance through us and with us. We were doing a little bit of that last night. It was nice. So we also pray with what we wear. We have the kippot, the yarmulkes, that we wear to cover our heads that show respect before God. And some of these kippot, they're absolutely gorgeous. Pam, thank you so very much for making some very colorful, beautiful kippot that we're seeing spread out. And also we have the talit, which is the prayer shawl. We're commanded in the Torah to wear fringes on the corners of our garment, also known as tzitzit. Now, why do we wear fringes on the corners of our garments? Well, they're there to remind us of the 613 commandments that God gave to us in the Torah. Now, we tend to only think about the top 10, but actually there's 613 total spread out throughout the entire Torah. And so God says to us, I want you to wear fringes on the corners of your garment, so when you look at these fringes, when you look at these tzitzit, you are reminded that there are a lot of commandments in the Torah. And you are reminded that you should study them and that you should ask questions about them, especially because there's many of the commandments that today we actually can't physically do because things like the temple in Jerusalem no longer exist where sacrifices used to take place. But we can ask a very important question, which is these mitzvot in the Torah, which maybe we can't necessarily do. How do we interpret them? How do we make them our own and be able to embrace them today, 2,000 years later? That's the beauty. That's the challenge of Torah. That's the beauty of our tradition. And so, when a young woman becomes a bat mitzvah, she receives her first talit. And when a young man becomes a bar mitzvah, a son of the commandments, you're not having a bar mitzvah. You are becoming a bar mitzvah, a son of the commandments today. JD, as you are becoming a bar mitzvah, you receive your first talit. So it is my honor to invite you to come and join your grandparents, Richard and Nancy Matasserin. as they present you with your first talit.
JD, your parents have given us the honor of presenting you with this talit. Wear it with honor and in good health. As a patriarch of the Matasserin family, I wish to present you this, but also to ask you, as the youngest male Matasserin, to keep the Torah and remain as a Jew. If you do that, you would honor us, and we would appreciate it. God bless you.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu v'hitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, eternal soul of the universe, who makes us holy through the mitzvot and commands us in the wearing of the fringes on the corners of our garments. We'll keep passing the box. Okay, we're fine, we're good. Okay, excellent. We can make a run real quick to see yes. We also have so many blessings that we will hear from family and friends throughout. But at this time, it is my honor to call forward Dave and Nancy Gravender to please come forward and share with us these blessings as we begin our service.
For cities and towns, factories and farms, flowers and trees, sea and sky.
God, we praise you for the world and its beauty.
For family and friends, neighbors and cousins.
God, we thank you for friendship and love.
For kind hearts, smiling faces, and helping hands.
God, we praise you for those who care for others.
For commandments that teach us how to live.
God, we thank you for those who help us to understand your laws.
And for making us one family on earth, the children of one God.
God, we praise you who made all people different, yet alike.
We give thanks for all of our blessings as we turn to page 112, Modeh Moda Ani. Please join with us.
Modeh Ani Baba,
students from Temple Beth Shalom to come forward, including Ruka, which should come up as well, and Davi and Yoni, Carly and Cameron, why don't you guys come up as well for our morning blessings. Come on up, guys. Yes, come on up. And teachers. There you go. Come on, brother. There you go. Eli, come on up too. Come on up, guys. Excellent. Come right here, Bernard. So we continue with our morning blessings that are in the middle of page 119. And so we begin with the words. Jake, you want to come up too? Want to come with me? Come here, Jacob. So we start off with the first two lines in Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, and then we continue with the English, and you'll hear the rhythm of it, and we invite everyone to join along with us. You ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the rooster the ability to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, for creating us in your image. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, for making me part of the house of Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, for making me a free person. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who upholds the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who provides all my needs. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes and slumber from the eyelids. Thank you guys so much. As we continue on the next page, 141, Chatzi Kaddish.
התגדע שמי רבה.
Amen.
והכל יברח פירותי, ימליך מלכותי, בחיי כל ויומי כל ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב, במהרו.
Amen. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, מעולם עולם ועלמיה.
וישתבח יפעל יומם וינשא, יתהדר יתהלל יתהלה שמי לקודשה. בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה וילרו.
Amen. We rise for Baruch, page 143.
Baruch hu et Adonai
Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, yotzer or uvarei choshech, yosei shalom uvarei et hakol. Hamayir la'aretz v'ladarim alaha, berachamim u'tuvo, mechadesh, bechol yom tamid, ma'aseh bereshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam, bechochma asita mala ha'aretz kinyanecha. We continue on the bottom of page 146. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha ve'al me'orei or she'asita yifaruach tzara.
Or chadash al Sion tagir, or chadash al Sion tagir, or chadash al Sion tagir, or chadash al Sion tagir. Benizke kulanu b'mnecha le'oro. Benizke kulanu b'mnecha le'oro. Or chadash al Sion tagir, or chadash al Sion tagir.
Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'me'orot. We praise you, Adonai, for the magnificence of your handiwork and for the shining lights which sing your praise. Cause a new light to shine upon Zion, and may we soon merit to bask in its glow. We praise you, Adonai, creator of light. Please turn to page 150. Great has been your love for us, our eternal God. You have shown us great compassion, O sovereign God, for the sake of our ancestors who trusted in you, and to whom you taught the laws of life. Be gracious to us and instruct us. Source of mercy, have mercy upon us, and instill within our hearts the capacity to listen and comprehend, learn and teach, observe and uphold all the teachings of your Torah with love. Enlighten us with your Torah, and help us to hold fast to your mitzvot. Inspire us to love and revere your name, so that we shall never be shamed. We place our trust in your great and awesome name. Be glad and rejoice in your salvation, for you, O God, work great wonders. In love you have chosen us and drawn us near to you, to serve you faithfully and to proclaim your wonders. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. We praise you, Adonai, who has chosen Israel to serve you.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue chanting together the Ve'al Haftarah. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'adecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi etzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shitecha b'betecha u'v'letecha b'derech u'shobbecha u'v'kumecha Utartam vayot avratecha, v'chayu l'totafot b'nei mecha. Utatam amezuzot beitecha, u'v'yisharecha. L'man tizkeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, l'yot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
And you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be on your heart, shall be on your heart. And you shall teach them diligently to your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up, and you shall bind them as a sign upon your head, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorpost of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and to all my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
We continue reading together on page 165. True and enduring, beloved and precious, awesome, good, and beautiful is this eternal teaching. This truth we hold to be forever certain. Adonai is our sovereign God. Our God is the rock of Jacob and our protecting shield. Adonai abides through all generations. God's name is eternal. God's throne stands firm. God's sovereignty and faithfulness are everlasting. The words of Adonai that live and endure, true and precious to all eternity. Moshe u'Miriam uvnei Yisrael lecha anu shira v'simcha. Rabbah ve'amru kulam.
Mi kamo baba heli madonna, mi כמונה נגע הקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. שיר החששים וגאוני, לשמחה שפתי יחד כולם, הודו והמליכו ואמרו אדוני לו לעולם ועד, אדוני לו לעולם ועד. La 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 Sur Israel, Kuma be'ezrat Israel, ufeteinu mecha, Yehuda be'Yisrael, Eloheinu, Adonai Zevaot Shemo, Kadosh Israel.
To all generations, we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips.
We praise you on high, the Holy God.
It is my pleasure at this time to invite up JD's and Jane to join me in playing the saxophone as we are turning to page 179 for the show. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם לדורות. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם לדורות. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם מותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם לדורות. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם לדורות. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם לדורות.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu v'tzei na v'nuchatenu kadeshenu v'mitzvotecha v'tein chalkenu v'toratecha sabe'enu mitzuvecha v'samchenu b'shuatecha v'taher libenu v'ovdecha v'emet v'hanchilenu Adonai Eloheinu Be'ahava uvrason Shabbat kodshecha v'yanuchu v'kol Yisrael mekadesh Shabbat shemecha baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Please join the Matasserin Yismachu on page 182.
ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 Shabbat Bekore, Oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei Shvi Shabbat. Kulam yispedu v'yitamdu mituv Shabbat. Yismechu v'malakutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat Bekore Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malakutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat Bekore Oneg Shabbat. Uvashvi'i רצית בו וקידשתו שבת, עמדתי אני אותו גמרת שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקורא עונג שבת. זכר למעשה ראשית שבת. זכר למעשה ראשית שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקורא עונג שבת.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amcha Yisrael u'tfilatam be'ahava tekabel u'ti l'ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha v'techazena inenu b'shuvecha l'tzion berachamim baruch ata Adonai habalcher shechlinato l'tzion.
Amen.
We praise you, Adonai, who restores the divine presence to Zion. We continue on page 189. We gratefully acknowledge that you are our eternal God and the God of our ancestors. You are our rock, giving strength to our lives. You are our protecting shield.
In every generation we offer thanks to you, and we praise you. For our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your keeping, and for your daily miracles. Your wonders and the signs of your goodness are present at every moment, morning, noon, and night.
For all these things you are forever blessed and exalted, O God. Let all that lives give thanks to you. May all eternally praise and bless your great name in truth. For you are the source of goodness, the one who is our salvation and our help.
We praise you, Adonai, whose name is goodness, and who is fitting to give thanks. As we turn to page 191, we join together with Sing Shalom. Sing Shalom, Tova Ubracha, Peikam Pesach Berachamim Berachamim Aleinu, Be'akol Yisrael, Be'akol Yisrael, Be'akol Ha'amim.
Baruchenu Avinu kulam ke'echad, ve'ol panecha, ki ve'ol panecha natzata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu. Si shalom, tova u'bracha, cheva chesed berachamim berachamim aleinu. Be'akol Yisrael, Be'akol Yisrael, Be'akol Ha'amim. תורה חיים ואהבת חסד, ואהבת חסד, צדקה וברכה ורחמים, וחיים ושלום, שים שלום, שים שלום, תורה וברכה, כן וחסד ורחמים ורחמים עלינו, והכל ישראל, והכל ישראל, והכל העמים. וטוב את עיניך, לברך את עמך ישראל, ואת כל העמים, בכל עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. שים שלום, שים שלום, טובה וברכה, כן וחסד ורחמים ורחמים עלינו, והכל ישראל, והכל ישראל, והכל העמים. ברוך אתה אדוני עושה השלום.
Grant peace, goodwill, and blessing, life, grace, and loving kindness to us, to all Israel, and to all the world. Bless us all with the light of your presence, O eternal God, for by that light you have given us Torah and life, love and faithfulness, justice and compassion, blessing and peace. May it be good in your sight to bless us, to bless all Israel, and all the world with enduring peace. We praise you, Adonai, the source of peace. Please be seated. We continue in silent meditation.
יהיו לרצון נברפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וכהני. יהיו לרצון נברפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וכהני. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai. יהיו רצון נברפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וכהני. יהיו רצון נברפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי גואלי.
At this time, we've reached the part of our service that's called Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of Torah. And earlier, when we went over to our ark during the prayer called the Amidah, we opened up our door and there was our Torah scroll. And what's beautiful about Torah, there are actually many things that are beautiful about Torah, but especially that Torah has been passed on one generation to the next. It has been passed down for over 2,000 years. And we even find historical evidence that actually shows us how the exact same words have been written down the exact same way for a couple thousand years. It's remarkable. But what is even more remarkable is that today, in the year 2014, we continue to study Torah. We read these ancient words, these words that start from the story of creation in the book of Genesis, continue through the book of Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, all 5 books of the Bible contained within the Torah. And we read the history, we read the stories, we read the family relations, we read about the commandments that we spoke about earlier, the 613 commandments. And what's really, truly remarkable about Torah is that it is an Eitz Chaim, literally a tree of life. It is something that is living. Because what makes it living is that we breathe the breath of life and understanding and interpretation and learning all into it. These ancient words aren't just there on the parchment for us to only read. They're there for us to study. And they're even there for us to question. That you don't have to just say, oh, I'm just going to take it for what it says. No. The most important thing to do is ask, why? Why is it written this way? Why are these rules here? What do we find the meaning in? What's really awesome today, however, is that the lesson doesn't come from me. It doesn't come from any of JD's teachers. The lesson today about Torah comes from JD. So later on, after we have explored Torah and read from Torah, then JD will teach us. For JD is not only a student of Torah, he is our teacher this morning, and our teacher for many years to come. So let us join together in this beautiful journey of our Torah. And we'll even take some moments in a little while in which we'll have an opportunity to come and get a nice close look at Torah. So those of you who have never seen Torah or haven't seen it for a while and want to come see it, we'll invite you to come do that in just a few moments. But let us turn to page 201 in our prayer books and begin our service for reading of Torah.
אין כמוך אלוהים אדוני ואין כמעשיך מלכותך מלכות כל עמים וממשלתך בכל דור ודור אדוני מלך אדוני מלך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
So our Torah is dressed just as the priests were dressed in temple times, those who took care of all the duties of the great temple in Jerusalem. And so in a little bit, we're going to march through the congregation here with our Torah scroll. And it's not that we worship Torah. You might notice people might take their siddurim, their prayer books, and reach out and touch Torah and kiss it, or take their talitot and reach out. It's not that we worship Torah, rather it's reminding ourselves that we show honor to the Torah, respect. And then when we come back around here, Noah and Eli and Anna, I would bring Torah over to you with JD, and we're going to have you hold the Torah ornaments for us. And so that way we can bring Torah up here. to be read. Now, of course, Torah is passed on one generation to the next, and it will be passed on into the future as well. But at this time, I want to invite Richard and Nancy, if the two of you will please rise there, Lynn and Pam and JD, if you will please go down and join them as well. And I'd like to invite up Mark and Max Ravender to please come forward to open our ark doors. And we invite everyone else to please rise as we turn to page 202 and continue our service. JD, this is yours. It belongs to you. May its weight continue to keep you weighted down in its tradition and rooted with our people, but may it also lift you up always and inspire you as we march in the light of Torah.
Lecha Adonai Hagidula Ben Hagibula Ben Hatiferet Mehamdei Sapeahot Ki kol bashamayim uba'aretz Ki kol bashamayim uba'aretz Adonai Kamalach Yavit Naser Kol Rosh Ashlosha Devarim Ashlosha Devarim Ashlosha Devarim Ha'olam Omer Ashlosha Devarim Ashlosha Devarim Ashlosha Devarim Ha'olam Omer Al HaTorah Ve'al HaAvodah Ve'al Gemilut Chasadim Al HaTorah Ve'al HaAvodah without giving good Hasadim.
Please be seated. We move over to this side. So, although I'd like to, right now that I've had to be seated, anybody who would like to come over, Oh, wait, that's true, the art door is staying. Please close the art doors, gentlemen. Thank you. So what happens when I'm out of my space? Thank you very much, gentlemen. They listen because I said to them, I'll tell you when to close the art doors. I'm sorry. That was never well. I'd like to invite anyone who'd like to come up and see the Torah. I know JD was telling me some of his friends might like to come see us, so come on up, guys, and don't be shy. So anybody who'd like to come see the Torah scroll up close? There you go. There we go. I promise, there's nothing here that will stop or whatever. Come around, come around. Oh, you haven't? Fabulous. All right. Come down on your feet and come around the front here as well. All right. Adults, kids, everything's good. All right, so first of all, the Torah, as I mentioned earlier, so it's dress home, it's fine. So the priest, forgive me for talking so loud, I'm going to make sure my voice carries there. So the priest would wear this beautiful garment. He would wear a keter, a crown, a plate that traditionally had the 12 stones representing the 12 tribes of Israel. And he wore a sash, which is very important for a Torah, because as you see, a Torah is two different scrolls. Whoops, sorry about that. And so it keeps it together. Now, JD, however, made us this Torah binder. There you go, you can see. Excellent. There you go. You really is. There you are. And so, which is an honor for us because all of our B'nai Mitzvah students, they make a Torah binder during a retreat. Then we get to use it the day that they become Bar Mitzvah. And JD, anytime, where did he go? Oh, there you were. Anytime you do read from Torah, that's what you can see down there. It's all good. But I just wanted to let you know. Whenever you read Torah, read your binder so we can wrap a little bit of you in our Torah. Okay. So, a Torah is made from parchment. Parchment comes from a kosher animal. And so, I'm going to unroll it down this way, guys. There you go. Here you go. Put it, hold on to that. It won't bite, I promise. All right. So, we just don't touch where the letters are. Now, parchment comes from a kosher animal, and it's carefully then scored out here where you can see, if you look really carefully, there's some lines that are etched into the parchment there. Those lines are there to help the scribe who writes the Torah scroll to keep all the letters going in the right direction, not slanting or anything, and also keeps that, oh, you know, I love it. And, perfect. And allows us to keep everything nicely justified. Now, I want you to look really closely. Can somebody see where the lines are and the letters are? Are the letters sitting on the line or hanging on the line? They're hanging, exactly, which is totally different than how we normally write. We write with our letters on the line. Also, the ink that the scribe uses is made from all natural ingredients, and it takes 1 year to actually cook the ink. And what makes it shiny, by the way, is honey. They actually add honey to the mixture at the very end, which then gives the letters that nice shine to it, but also it's great teaching that Torah, the words of Torah, and the learning of Torah should be as sweet on our lips as is honey. So that's kind of cool. But don't actually taste it. So there are no vowels in here. If you looked in your prayer book earlier, here there's little dots and dashes everywhere with the letters, below the letters, above the letters, side of the letters, all around. Those letters, or those dots and dashes, are the vowels, A, E, I, O, U. But we don't have any vowels in our Torah scroll. The reason why is because we really didn't need them originally. When we were all speaking Hebrew together, we could read the Torah without any vowels. If I gave you anything to read in English without any vowels, you would be able to read it because you know the language. But then, after 70 in the Common Era, when the Jews were dispersed out of Israel and went to all different lands and speaking different languages, we started to change the language a little bit, and just changing one vowel in a word can change the meaning of a word. Like if I say L, that could be two. If I say al, that means don't. So it changes the meaning in just one sound. So there's a rule, however, that goes with Torah. We're not allowed to add anything to it or take anything away. That means I can't put any vowels in here, even though in our books and stuff we have vowels. So what we do is we study, usually from a book or from computer printouts, love printout, where it gives the Hebrew with the vowels, and then we give without, so that way as people learn how to read Torah, they can go down and transfer from there. When somebody reads from Torah, they're reading from the scroll. We make sure of it. But we also stand next to them in case somebody gets stuck, and we help them out as well. So, any questions? How you doing? Yes? No, you cannot touch where the words are. Well, where the words are, of course, absolutely. Right here on the back of the parchment, feel free to, absolutely. And it's parchment, there you go. And the different colors in it is because the different animal has different coloring of its skin. So that's why you see some of this different coloring there. Any other questions? Yeah? No? Okay, all right. Well, thank you guys very much for coming up and seeing Torah. And this is what JD is going to be reading from, and his sister's going to be reading from, and others. So thank you all very, very much. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can't touch Torah, and it's very helpful because they just saw there's a lot of letters here, a lot of words here. So it helps to be able to follow along with Torah, but if we touch our fingers on it, it will eventually smudge it. We don't want to do that. So we use what's called a yad, and it literally means hand, and it's shaped just like this. So this is what we use to follow along with Torah, and JD has even made his own yad that he will be using, and Lynn has made her own yad that she will be using, and but we have another yad too. So with that, Cantor.
For our first Aliyah, chanting the blessing, Robin Rubenstein, Raphael Baruch Hadokim Visarah, reading from Torah, Fred Rose, Bible in the full Begital, and reading the English translation, Diane Rose, Tina, Rain, and Nancy.
ואת החזיר עם האפריס פרסהו ושסה ססה פרסה והוא גברה יקיר טמאו לכם מבשרם לא תאכלו וקניקלתם לא תיקחו טמאים הם לכם.
And Adonai spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying to them, Speak to the people of Israel, saying, These are the creatures that you may eat from among all land animals. Any animal that has true hoofs with clefts through the hoofs, and that chew the cud, any such animals you may eat. But these you may not eat, though they chew the cud, and that or that have a cloven hoof. The camel, although it chews the cud, its hoofs is not cloven. It is unclean for you. And the daemon, although it chews the cud, its hoof is not cloven, and it is unclean for you. And the hare, although it chews the cud, its hoof is not cloven, it is unclean for you. And the swine, although it has true hoofs and is cloven-footed, it does not chew the cud, it is unclean for you. You may not eat of their flesh or touch their carcasses, they are unclean for you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu tovat emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
For our second Aliyah, chanting the blessing, Alicia Grace, Malka Ochavim, Bible Vidina, reading from Torah, reading Matasserin, Fruit Basleah, B'Tamara, and reading the English translation, Joshua Glickman, Shimon Contriel, and David Vidalia.
These you may eat of all that live in water, whatever has fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, these you may eat. But as for anything that does not have fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that moves in water, of anything that lives in water, they shall be an abomination for you. Indeed, they they shall be an abomination for you. You shall not eat their flesh, and even their carcasses shall be an abomination for you. Everything in water that has no fins nor scales shall be an abomination for you.
For our third Aliyah, chanting the blessing, and Matasserin, Tamara Bat Abraham Bisara, reading from Torah, Link Matasserin, Leah Bat Ruvain Nancy, and reading the English translation for the equipment, Dahlia Bat Ruvain Nancy.
And for these among the birds you shall have abomination. They may not be eaten, for they are an abomination. The eagle, the vulture, and the black vulture, the kite and falcons of all kinds, every kind of raven, the ostrich, the nighthawk, and the seagull, hawks of all kinds, and the little owl, the cormorant, and the great owl, the white owl, the pelican, and the bustard, the stork, herons of all kinds, the cuckoo, and the bat.
Oh, you want some?
Come closer. You want to see this, definitely. You can go over there. So now we can go over here.
You're confusing me.
So you're nice and close because you want to see this.
I didn't see the footprints on the floor.
Excellent. Ya'amud v'tavachor bar mitzvah Yosef ben Leah Tamar likro batoha.
For I, Adonai, am the one who brought you up from the land of Egypt to be your God. You shall be holy, for I am holy. These are the instructions concerning animals, birds, all living creatures that move in water, and all creatures that swarm on earth, for distinguishing between the unclean and the clean, between the living things that may be eaten and the living things that may not be eaten. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah temet, v'chayei olam atah b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Mazel tov. That was wonderful, beautiful. Your job is not done yet, though. David Glickman is good. Thank you. So, David Glickman, I invite you to come have a seat over here on the cantor side, because now we get to lift the Torah to show everyone. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. So that way, everyone who maybe did not come up can see what was read from Torah. And so we invite everyone to please rise now as we give honor to the Torah.
The Haftarah for Parashat Shmini is 2 Samuel chapter 7, verses 8 through 17. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzah b'divrehem hane'emarim b'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'v'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Ve'atah kotamar le'avdi le'David ko amar Adonai Tzevaot ani lekachticha min hanaveh me'achar hatzon V'hiyot nagid al ami al Yisrael v'ahiyeh yimecha lechol asher halachta v'achriti et kol oivecha mipanecha Va'asiti lecha shem gadol kishem hagadolim asher ba'aretz v'samti makom la'ami le'Yisrael untativ V'shachan tachtav v'lo yirgaz od v'lo yosifu v'nei avla le'anato ka'asher barishona umihayom asher siviti Shoftim alami Yisrael v'hanichoti lecha mikol oivecha v'higid lecha Adonai kivayit ya'aseh lecha Adonai ki yimlu Yamecha v'shachavta et avatecha v'hakimoti et zaracha acharecha asher yetzei mimeyecha v'hakinoti et mamlachto. Further, say thus to my servant David, thus said Adonai of hosts, I took you from the pasture, from following the flock, to be ruler of my people Israel. And I have been with you wherever you went, and have cut down all your enemies before you. Moreover, I will give you great renown, like that of the greatest men on earth. I will establish a home for my people Israel, and I will plant them firm, so that they shall dwell secure, and shall tremble no more. Evil men shall not oppress them any more as in the past, ever since I appointed chieftains over my people Israel. I will give you safety from all your enemies. Adonai declares to you that God, Adonai, will establish a house for you. When your days are done, and you lie with your fathers, I will raise up your offspring after you, one of your own issue, and I will establish his kingship. He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish his royal throne forever. I will be a father to him, and he shall be a son to me. When he does wrong, I will chastise him with the rod of men and the affliction of mortals. But I will never withdraw my favor from him as I withdrew it from Saul, whom I removed to make room for you. Your house and your kingship shall ever be secure before you. Your throne shall be established forever. Nathan spoke to David in accordance with all these words and all this prophecy. Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim, tzadik b'chol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'mdaber u'mkayem, shekol devarav, emet v'tzedek. Al ha'torah, v'al ha'avodah, v'al ha'nevi'im, v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, Shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha v'limnucha, lechavod u'tifaret. Al hakol, Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, umvarchim otach, yitbarach shimcha, v'fi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Bekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Asher, we take these moments now during our Torah service to offer prayers of healing for all of those who are in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. I invite you at this time to think about those family and friends of any faith, any tradition, who are in need of healing. Think about them as we send these blessings to each and every one of them. Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Leah Rachel. Hu yivarech et hacholim hanizkarim, yatirenu v'yiten lechem refuah shlema, refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf. May God, who blessed our ancestors, send the healing balm of blessing to our dear ones, who seek speedy healing of mind, body, and spirit. Grant them strength and faith to meet adversity with courage. O eternal God, watch over all of them and give them comfort. Comfort them with your love, ease their pain, and bless those who care for them with compassion and skill. Grant them refuah shlema, complete healing speedily and soon. And let us say together, Amen. We turn to page 215. Prayer for our government, its leaders, and for the state of Israel. We pray for the welfare of our country and all those who hold positions of leadership and responsibility in your civic and national life. Let your blessing rest upon them, and may they always be responsive to your will, so that our nation will ever be to the world an example of justice, righteousness, and compassion. Inspire us to work for the well-being of all our fellow citizens. Imbue us with zeal for the cause of liberty in our own land and in all lands. Keep our country and our homes safe from affliction, strife, and war. And let us say, Amen. We pray for the land of Israel and for its people. May its borders know peace and its inhabitants tranquility. May the bonds of faith and faith, which unite all Jews of all lands, be a source of strength to Israel and to us all. God of all lands and ages, answer our prayer and cause Zion once more to glow in divine light for us and for all the world. And let us say, Amen. We rise now as we return the Torah to the ark. Page 219, 8 Kaiti.
In the fall of 2012, football season to be exact, I showed up to practice for the first time after missing 6 weeks for a sprained neck. I did my warm-ups and got in line for the tackling drill. I was up against one of the biggest players on the team. His name was Jacob Nash and was nicknamed Nash T. I sprung up as coach blew the whistle and dove for Jacob. What I didn't do though was what my coach had taught us for the past 4 years. I didn't put my head up. I didn't look at him as I hit him. My head was looking straight at the ground. After I hit him, I flew back as he ran through me. I was taken to the hospital in an ambulance and spent the night. I had learned that because I didn't do what my coach told me to do in exactly the way he told me to do it, I was punished. I was out of school for 3 weeks because for the whole time I wasn't able to walk. This Torah portion I'm teaching talks about how after Aaron and Moses had blessed the people and God had rewarded the people for their sacrifices, Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, decided to make sacrifices of their own. They got their own fire pans and made their sacrifices, as my Torah portion says. Now Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, each took his fire pan, put fire in it, and laid incense on it, and they offered before the Lord a living fire, which he had not enjoined on them. And fire came forth from the Lord and consumed them. Thus they died at the instance of the Lord. The difference between their sacrifice and the people's was that God had commanded the people to make the sacrifices. After Nadab and Abihu made the sacrifices they were commanded to make, God punished them by death. Nadab and Abihu were punished because they didn't do what they were told to do exactly the way they were told to do it. If you're in class and you start passing notes, you're going to be punished, just because you're not allowed to. Just like Nadab and Abihu were not allowed to make those sacrifices. If you commit a crime, you're going to be punished. But if you stay quiet and do your work in class when the teacher says to, you could be rewarded, just like the people who were blessed for making the sacrifices exactly how God commanded them. As it is written, Moses and Aaron went inside the tent of meeting. When they came out, they blessed the people, and the presence of the Lord appeared to all the people. My full name is Joseph Douglas Matasserin. I was named Joseph for my great uncle on my mother Lynn's side of the family. Douglas is from my uncle Doug on my mother Pam's side of the family, who died over 20 years before I was born. He died of leukemia. Leukemia is a terrible cancer that is an important part of my life and is emotionally connected to my name. For my Mitzvah project, I ran a bone marrow transplant stand at the Purim Festival. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a quick process where you swab the inside of your cheek and see if your DNA and cells qualify for donating bone marrow and saving someone's life. God doesn't show himself in an obvious and physical way, but yet here we are today, praying, praising, and saying thank you to God. So we must believe God's there. But I bet you're wondering how God can reward us for our good deeds if we can't see or personally talk to God. God doesn't always have to reward us himself. He shows us with others, such as our superiors, like our coaches, teachers, rabbi, or our parents. When I sprung at Jacob and fell to the ground, I was punished. Even though I wasn't put to death like Nadab and Abihu, I suffered for 3 weeks and learned a great lesson. This lesson was that if I do what I'm told, I'll be rewarded, but if I don't, I'll be punished. This Torah portion relates to my Mitzvah project because, as you learned earlier, my Mitzvah project helps save lives, just by doing such a small act that can go a far way, like swabbing your cheek. Have you ever done a good deed? You didn't need to be recognized for it, but you felt happy and content with yourself about doing it. That's God's way of rewarding you. If you swab your cheek and you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, that feeling of self-confidence, just by the thought that you have the potential of saving someone's life, you've been rewarded by God. You get the feeling that you've been favored in the eyes of God. You have been rewarded, just like our ancestors who were blessed for their sacrifices. The entire purpose of having a bar mitzvah is to become a man in my Jewish community. But when I was told that I had to say what it means to me, I took a long time to think about it. I finally came up with one word to describe the entire experience. Respect. Now I don't mean just being respected by my fellow congregants because now I have the talit and the kippah, but by many more. I now have the responsibility to teach my friends when they ask about Judaism. I have the respect of my parents because now they see me as a true adult of the Jewish world. But most importantly, I have the respect of God. I read my Torah portion and my Haftarah. I led everyone in the prayers, which took much practicing. But most importantly, I led a service of worship today, in front of God. God has seen me today in front of the congregation and has seen me mature into a son of the commandments. I would like to say thank you to many people for whom I wouldn't be here today without. I would first like to thank Rabbi Cohen for helping me on rehearsals and for being my friend throughout this long and difficult experience. Next, I would like to thank Cantor David Grunwald for helping me learn all these prayers, my Torah portion, and my Haftarah. I would also like to thank all my friends and family for coming here today and sharing this wonderful experience with me. I would like to thank my grandparents, who I know I've not had the easiest time coming here today, but have done it for me out of the love in their heart. Thank you to my sister Ruth for helping me when I needed help with my Hebrew, and those many times when I needed help with math. I would like to thank Maura Robin, my Hebrew teacher, also the best Hebrew teacher ever, for always helping me, and for slowing down when I needed help, and for speeding up when I was ahead. She is the best Hebrew teacher ever. Another teacher I would like to thank is my language arts teacher at Sierra Vista Middle School, Mrs. Wright. She helped me edit my speech and gave me so many helpful tips, and I'm so glad that she could be here today. Another great teacher I would like to thank is my math teacher, Mr. Zurcher. My math teacher, Mr. Zurcher. He has not only been my teacher throughout the school year, he's been my friend. Whenever I wanted to talk about sports, or if I was having trouble in class, he would always get me back on track as quick as possible. Another few people I would like to thank are the ones who helped me volunteer at my bone marrow transplant stand. I'm so glad that all of them could be here today. Those people are Lenny Benson, Bill Vaughter, Jim McKenzie, Juliette McKenzie, Lynn Matasserin, Pam Matasserin, and my great friend Anna Dane. Most importantly, I would like to thank my moms, Pam and Lynn, for always listening to whatever I had to say or when I needed help on my homework and my speech. When I want to go somewhere or when I just need a mom. Thank you to Pam for making these lovely key quotes that I see many people wearing. Thank you to Lynn, my junior high principal. I know it's sometimes a little awkward when you walk into my class, but honestly, I love seeing you every day and I'm proud that you're my principal. I love you guys. I know there are people out there who are not as lucky as me to have a loving family and to be happy and healthy, like those with leukemia. If you're interested in becoming a member of the Bone Marrow Registry and weren't able to donate last week, please come talk to me. Thank you for being here today. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
First off, just to let you know, we have jobs in our family. The job this time was for Linda to write the speech, and my job is to read it, because we all know that she needs lots of Kleenex, so whoever has a box may need to pass it along.
There we go. Her job to read it, my job to write it, my job to cry, her job to supply the Kleenex.
And then we make fun of her when she cries.
First off, going off the speech for a second, you did an amazing job today, considering all that we've gone through last month. With changes and everything. I'm crying already. I'm not supposed to be crying. All right. I'm not looking down. Okay, so, Jamie, our hearts are filled with joy today, watching you so skillfully lead your family, friends, and congregation in this wonderful worship service. Although your ability to do so was never in doubt, it's still amazing to see your hard work and dreams become reality. We're so blessed when Ruthie came into the world, and we knew that we wanted to have 2 children to make our family complete. It took 2.5 long years before we were, 2.5 long years than we originally hoped. My father always says, good things take time. But we believe that God had a plan, and we were feeling equally blessed on February 20th, 2001, the day you came into the world. Funny now to think back to that day, as you did not want to come out. The doctor tried and tried, and we knew that it wasn't because you were cozy or too shy to come out. We all know how shy you are. But finally, the doctor realized that your hand was up by the side of your head. Once he popped that out, you came zooming right on out. And it shouldn't have been a surprise, because every time for the next 3 years when you would drink, either from a bottle or a sippy cup, your hand would be playing with your ear. It's always right here. At least you're giving that up. We appreciate that. We moved to California just 6 months prior to your birth and found our home away from home as members of Temple Beth Shalom community. We started a Jewish journey at 6 weeks old in the Temple of Care. And here we are 13 years later and so proud of the Jewish journey that you've chosen for yourself leading this morning. in this moment. You were named for two of your uncles, as you said, one from each side of the family. Your great uncle Joseph Matasserin, Papa's brother, was an amazing man. He was so academically gifted that he was the youngest graduate in the history of Kansas University. I was waiting for Peggy to do a Okay. Graduating at the age of 18, when most young people were graduating from high school, he was a world-class athlete who excelled in sports and wrestling, and he served his country in the military and worked as a civil engineer. Your Uncle Douglas Reese was married to your Aunt Jenny and father to your cousin Matt Mandy. I knew I knew this. As a youngster, he suffered from polio, which left him somewhat physically disabled. But he never let that get him down. He was an avid bowler and softball player, instilling in both of his sons the love of athletics that endured for them today. Aside from being a wonderful husband and father, perhaps his greatest contribution to the world was being a teacher. He taught elementary school and was beloved by his students and their parents. We lost Doug leukemia when he was a very young man, and we're so proud that you have chosen to help people save lives at his honor. Not doing very well. JD, you exemplify many of the best qualities of these two amazing men, and we know that we're proud of you, the boy, but we know they would be proud of the boy you have been and the man yet to be from this day forward. From the moment you could talk, you demonstrated your creative side. You even made up your own language. You couldn't say Ruthie, so you called her Rupa, and you called the living room the livery room, both of which we find fondly used today. You are outgoing and funny, yet caring and compassionate. You've never met a stranger. You can hold a conversation with anybody, and have done so even as young as 2 years old, when you would engage total strangers in conversation at the department store. You love being on the stage, whether as the MC of the talent show or as a participant, playing the guitar, giving a dramatic performance, or even doing your card tricks. Do you remember your talent show performance when we were on vacation in Montana?
Oh, yeah.
You sang John Denver's Country Roads and got a standing ovation from the audience. You were only 4 years old, and you were the hit of the show. Throughout the years, when asked what you wanted to be when you grew up, you named several interests, including guitar player in a band, professional football player, professional golfer, lawyer, businessman, and even politician. I do believe at the age of 3 they were in the order of rock band star, then a doctor, and then the president. And I thought that was economically very wise. Be rich for being in the band, pay for your own doctor job, and then you have enough money to be the president. I thought that was a great thing. Right? Of course, just as all young people, your choices will change many times over the next few years. But we know that you will be successful with any path you choose. We look forward to sharing in all of your tomorrow. We love you.
So, JD, we are all very, very proud of you. And I remember sitting in the office with your mom, with Pam, when she was about ready to pop. And saying how excited she was, because she also was a part of this journey. And received her, you were named shortly before you received yours. And what a beautiful journey it is. And from remembering that moment and then the moment of getting to hold you right after you were born, you were supposed to be sweet. Oh, good. I'm glad. It's been this beautiful journey because you have been a part of this congregation your entire life. This has been your congregational family, and you have been woven into it so beautifully. Not only as a student, and I know that you played football at school too, but I love also the times that we've been able to play football out on the grass, as well as I think I surprised you with my throwing arm a couple of times. So maybe a little. Okay, so come on, remember me. Anyway, all right. So, but JD, we celebrate today. You're becoming a bar mitzvah, congregational family. So we invite forward to make some presentations to you on behalf of our board of directors, Susan Sherman, on behalf of our brotherhood, Steve Sherman, no relation, but same last names, and on behalf of our youth group, Anna Bain and Eli McKenzie. And I'd like to ask, I don't know if you on the spot, but Sylvia, will you please come and represent our sisterhood? Thank you.
I'm not Sylvia, by the way.
I know. Thank you, Mark, for letting us borrow Sylvia this morning. So. Thank you, Sylvia, so much. Anna and Eli, we'll let you guys move first. Come on over here, guys.
Hi, Katie. So Eli told me that I would go first. So first, I want to say Mazel Tov. Your Torah portion and your Haftorah were both beautiful, and your speech was very, very nice. And you have been our great friend, as you called me in your speech. You've been our great friend for a very, very long time. And I know you've known Eli a lot longer than you've known me. But even though I came here about 3 years ago, you've been so accepting, and we love you very much. And Mazel Tov.
JD, I've been your friend for too many days to count. I would say too many years to count, but I'm pretty sure I could count to my own age. Mazel tov.
You forgot to say, on behalf of the youth group, we want to present you with this Havdalah candle. So, think of us when you light it. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I want to wish you Mazel Tov. It was wonderful to have the opportunity to be here and see it as you've gone through all that you do to figure out what you were going through over the months of practice to have a wonderful presentation with the prayers and listening to your speech. And also what you did for your Mitzvah project, which I think was a wonderful thing to do. And just a couple of reminders. One, this is just one step in your Jewish journey. There are many for you that many more to come. And hopefully in about 3 years' time, your confirmation, we'll see you again. And then we'll more follow that. On behalf of the brotherhood, we should give you this gift. It's a tzedakah box. And they will always keep filling it, and you can keep doing it as well, helping others, and always remember the heritage of always supporting and helping others. That's what it's all about. So that's all about.
On behalf of Sisterhood, we'd like to give you this Kiddush cup as a reminder of how sweet life is as you graduate from grape juice to wine. May you always have it filled and enjoy the sweetness of life every day, every year, every Jewish holiday. And may it always be a part of your life as our congregation is.
Okay, thank you, JD, for the wonderful Shabbat service this morning. Your teaching of this parasha and telling us your story is very inspiring as it helps us personalize and understand the importance of making the right choices. The Torah tells us specific ways to set up the tabernacle, specific procedures for sacrifices and initiating formal worship. God has given the leaders the task of teaching Israel the difference between pure and impure. It is the leader's obligation to pass on the message and the people follow the book. It is also the coach's responsibility to make sure that the team and the individuals adhere to the rules for the safety of the sport. So, the practice of playing by the rules is necessary to maximize safety for its players as you described in your speech. JD, our family has known you since you were very young. We are proud of you today and know that your intelligence, energy, curiosity, and amazing personality, you will make the right choices and continue your journey through life. You're an amazing and extraordinary level of intellect and talent. As a youth, you have to somewhat control that full-of-life nature that you have. The JD I know, although he likes to test the limits, will use that energy to love his family, be successful, and make a positive impact on your community. On behalf of Temple Beth Shalom Board of Directors, I would like to present you with a gift. And this is hot off the press. This is the first of your B'nai Mitzvah class to receive the newly printed Reform Forever Mishkan Tequila. Congratulations and welcome to participate in the adult Judaism, and may you continue this through your life. Thank you. Love you.
Well, JD, no, you're okay. There you go. Thank you. Oh yeah. That's okay. We did. Because I do want to also acknowledge, what your mom said earlier too, which I want to thank you and I want to thank all of our B'nai Mitzvah students because you all have been the most flexible and easygoing and go with it. I don't know what's been going on behind the scenes, but yeah, this has been a hard month because we have literally been the wandering Jews. But what we have discovered is that it's not about where we're at, it's about what we're doing and being together. So I want to thank you and thank your moms and your whole family and all of our B'nai Mitzvah students for being just so flexible and go with it and making wherever it is that we are together a holy space. So I'm very proud of you. And for those who are wondering, by the way, what the numbers are to our left, your right, anybody take a guess what that is? It's his birthday. We kind of took over. And usually it's the page numbers for psalms that will be read during services here, but we took it over. We made his space ours. So JD, you are going to receive many blessings today. Everybody has the ability to bless. And we invite everyone throughout the day and the days to come and give you their blessings, their hopes, their dreams for you. But now this is our opportunity to offer you the blessings of our congregation and of our people, and also cantors and my blessings upon you. So I'm going to invite your moms to come and join us, and ask everyone to please rise. There we go. There you go. Yeah. Because we all get a look upon your face right now, JD. We got to look into the blue eyes that were there the day you were born. I remember looking deep into them and thinking, wow, there is a whole universe in those eyes. A universe that is curious, a child who is curious, who wants to explore, and as Susan said earlier, one who wants to test the limits. And you know what? That's good. Yes, this is a top Torah portion with Nadav and Abihu. And we thank God every day that you are okay. We thank God that you don't play football right now. But most importantly, we thank God that you are healthy. Because in those eyes and deep down within, there is a lifetime yet to be explored, to challenge, to push the limits, To sit there and to say, hey, wait a second, I don't think this is right, or hey, wait a moment, I think I need to be doing this to make a difference in the world. Hey, wait a minute, I don't agree, or I do agree. There is this beautiful life ahead of you to which you can make a difference in the universe that is in your eyes and the universe that you see before you. JD, you come from a long line of those who have questioned, who have challenged, who have studied and learned and taken the Torah into their hearts. We ask you, please, always carry that Torah with you, both in your arms and also in your heart. Carry it with you and challenge it. Don't just accept what's on the page, but ask why. Take those words and say, how do I make them my own, and what can I give to everyone else around me so I can make a difference? That Torah that you lifted so beautifully earlier, you lifted that so high because you have the strength of Torah within you. Continue to lift it. Continue to inspire, be inspired by it, and continue to inspire us. Remember, there is a universe there waiting for you to explore, waiting for you to also give to us, waiting for you to bless, waiting for us to also bless you. We give you these words of blessing that have been passed on one generation to you, and we hope, JD, please, that you will pass these blessings on to the next as well.
Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and watch over you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'kuneta.
May God's light shine on you, in you, and through you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasemecha shalom.
Yosef and Leah and Tamara, may you always feel God's presence around you. May God always bless you. Bless you with safety, with good health, with happiness, and a life that is filled, most important of all, a life that is filled with shalom, with peace. And let us say, Amen. We remain standing and we turn in our prayer books. For Aleinu L'Shabeach, our closing prayers, page 417. Aleinu L'Shabeach Adon Ha'ol, Ya'teh T'Toras Bereshit, Shelo Asanu Le'aratzot, Velo Samanu K'mishterot Ha'adama, Shelo Samrakenu Lahem, yet their memories are truly a part of our lives, interwoven with our own. We remember those who recently departed, Joseph Paul Gropper and Ruth Feller. We also remember those whose yahrzeits fall on this Shabbat and during this coming week: Tom Bishop, Hal Carter, Saul Charles, Melba Dickey, Bernhard Dorman, Patricia Aaron, Dravagon Aaron, Jeanette Ellison, Saul Freed, Murray O'Gary, Isidore Glasser, Howard Jaspin, Henry Jonas, Barnett Van Minden, Ethel Schechter, Jerome Schlager, Luta Shanfield, Doris Solomon, Martha Stern, Rose Waldman Rich, David Wolfish, Ruth Weiner, and Arthur Warshaw. If there's anyone here who's in the period of mourning of Shiva, Shloshim, or Shana, or is observing a yard sign of a loved one whose name I have not called, I invite you to share their names with us as I face in your direction. We remember all those who have given their lives up to Hashem for the sanctification of God's holy name. We remember those who have no one to say Kaddish for them as we join together. Page 427, Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash v'rabah, v'yamad v'yirad v'yirtei v'yamid malchutei, v'chayevon v'yomevon v'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael, v'adalav v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabah v'rab le'lam l'mei maya, v'yivarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yiframah v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei v'yishab v'yikru. Ve'elam yipol berchatav v'shiratav, tushiratav v'nechatav, da'amiram v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemayel, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Osei shalom v'broma, u'yasei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved. Let us say together, Amen. Before we conclude with our closing song, we have to take care of one other thing. You want to do it outside? Oh, sure. Oh, okay, perfect. I didn't know we had to. Oh, excellent. We'll wait. We'll do it outside then. Never mind. Out in the lobby. We'll join together in the lobby in a few minutes. Excellent. So put your arms around somebody next to you. As we join together with our closing song, Osei Shalom. Osei Shalom in Osei Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael.
That